I look at Taylor said Black told him he was misled into investing in a Ponzi scheme and all these different things. And I'm not gonna really dive into Taylor's story, but I want to talk about the general money in the business like of football here with you today. I'm not going to really dive into preseason action. We'll have a guy who will dive into preseason action. Nick Rice on 1000 mics will do that. He will actually simulcast. So you'll see Nick Rice at 7 o'clock here. He'll dive into preseason action on Monday Night Football. He'll dive into that later on. But with Taylor and the NFL and the business I'm a little bit concerned for some of these players. You look here, and I feel like players, and there's been a huge issue with how long NFL players should stay in college, and how long they should stay in college, and how long, and all these different things. And I think players should stay in college for 4 years because it teaches them the money aspect of the game. Well, it prepares them. And some of you might say, well, that's kind of a ridiculous comment. If you're projected to be the first pick in the draft overall and you don't make it, and you wait another year and then you become a second round pick, then you've wasted a ton of money, and that's a bad business decision. I have to disagree with that. I think you mature as a player. You have an opportunity to train yourself as a player. You have a better education process on how to handle yourself on and off the field. And I think it's a good learning tool, not just in the classroom, but off the classroom. And I think players and need to understand that you need to go stay college in 4 years. Why not? You're here, you're playing the greatest game, the NFL, the biggest stage, the NFL. Stay. Don't get caught into these guys. Become a guy focused on your money, economically wise. And I don't really talk about this stuff that much, but it's something I want to bring up to that goes more than just the game. Because, to be honest, and you can say how much fun it is to watch the NFL, but at the end of the day, it's a business. And if you can't maintain and control and keep up with that business, you can't be, even if you're a talented player, you can't keep up with that. Let's look at Ryan Leaf. I can go with Jamarcus Russell. I can go with so many other guys. I can go time and time and time again, instance after instance after instance. And Akili Smith. I can mention all these guys' names. They didn't bring it on. They didn't contribute because they couldn't keep up with the business aspect of things. Yes, they had to get adjusted. Yes, they didn't understand the business of the game. You got to understand the business of the game, and you got to stay with the business of the game. You have to avoid all the distractions. You have to get through everything. And I feel like this is a burning issue. I think the NFL needs to come out and say, and I think it's the same with the NBA. They need to do the same exact thing. I mean, look at Kwame Brown. I could go instant after instant. You gotta put the players in a good position. You gotta prepare them. And I think keeping them for 4 years prepares them. I think it would be a superb job. Absolutely. To me, I would love it if players would stay for 4 years. You become smarter in the classroom, and you have something to hang your hat on afterwards. We see so many NFL players go bankrupt, and they have so much money, but they don't know what business venture to go into, what business opportunities that they should delve into. I mean, you look at the guys with an education. Let's look at Steve Young. Even though he's an ESPN NFL analyst, he did a little bit he was a lawyer for a few years. I mean, let's look at guys like that have shown to me and shown to everyone else that there's life after football. And I feel like some of these players say, oh, they don't get retirement benefits, they should get paid afterwards. But when you get paid so much, at that time, you gotta have a job to keep up with afterwards. I mean, life it's a cycle that you're gonna have to go through. life is pretty tough. I'm not going to say it's very easy to keep up a good life. Now, if players can stay in college and get that necessary training and get that necessary preparation to extend their football career and extend their lives and extend the way that they think and the way that they perform, it will be the ultimate favor for NFL players and the ultimate thing that the NFL will do. We have to talk about here today. We have a show 9:15 here today on Spreaker here today, and I look at this on Spreaker at 9:15. We have Brandon Beyer, who will have a show called The Rundown with Brandon Beyer. Make sure you tune in to Nick Rice at 7 o'clock on Spreaker. Make sure you tune in to Brandon Beyer at 9:15. Those are all Pacific times. Pacific times on the coast, on the West Coast here today. But I got another question. I'm not going to really dive into true football, but I'll answer this because it's a question here today. Do you think Brandon Weeden will have a good season? I'm not sure here today. I'm not sure here with Weeden, because even if you put Tom Brady on the Cleveland Browns, I don't know if they're going to be successful. The Browns have no solid target that they can go to. They don't have a solid enough defense. They need a better running game. There's not enough support for Weeden, so I wouldn't be surprised if he has a horrible year. The Browns need to invest more in their other positions on the field. I think that's a huge issue, and I think that's a great question, and thank you for addressing that on the Cameron Sadeghi Show here today. And I really appreciate those of you, talking about that on the show, and I'll give you some time right now. We have 7 minutes left. Give me your calls, give me your comments, give me your questions. I want to hear it. If we have to, we'll go long. Maybe we'll go 10 minutes long if you give me a question or a comment. I'd really appreciate it. So go right ahead, give me your comment, give me your question, and it's your stage. I'm not gonna, censor you or anything. It's your time. Go right ahead. Just keep it clean though. Don't cuss me out on the show, because I wouldn't cuss you out either. I'm no Dino Costa here. But please, just be respectful. Call in. I want to hear your thoughts. Chat, I want to hear your thoughts. I want to see your thoughts. Well, see your opinion. Text me. The number 949-456-2911. That's what you guys can do that right now. Please call, comment, or chat. We got another question from Robert. Well, before we get to that, we have the same guy who called again. Hello, Ari. You called again, and what do you want to say?
So, everyone says Dwight Howard's the best center, and I respect that, but looking at the stats, Dwight Howard, who was the star of his team, averaged 17 of 10. But Andrew Bynum, who played along beside Kobe Bryant and Paul Gasol, averaged basically the same exact stats. I think maybe even a little better, if you give or take. So I don't really understand why everyone is giving so much hype around Dwight Howard when I think the Lakers really didn't even make a move. They just stayed the same.
But okay, the reason why there's so much hype is because, first of all, last year was Dwight's worst year, in my opinion. I'm not looking particularly at his individual style of stats, but I mean, he was going through that drama with Stan and all those things. You get a better rebounder, you get a model of consistency with Howard, and I feel like you put yourself in the position late game situations that can give you the extra rebounds. With Bynum, you don't really have that on a consistent game to game basis. With Howard, you do. That's the big difference. I thought it was a big move, to be honest. I'm not particularly a fan of how I don't believe that the Lakers will win the finals this year.
Who do you think will have a better season, Clippers or Lakers?
I'm gonna have to go. I want to say Clippers.
The crowd is waiting for your opinion.
I want to say the Clippers because, in a way, I feel like the chemistry... Wait, time. Can I finish my thought first? Please.
The Lakers will obviously have a better season. They already had a better season this year without Dwight Howard. So you spewing out these facts are not true is disrespectful.
Okay, first of all, let me express my thoughts here with the Lakers. I think I'm going to come out here and say this. The starting lineup for the Lakers is more talented than the Clippers. But the Lakers... the Clippers have a way better bench, and the Lakers they can't even compare with the bench of the Lakers. And the Lakers, Mike Brown won't lead this offensively. They're too stagnant.
Who are the key players on the Clippers bench?
I'm going to go out and say Lamar Odom. I could go Grant Hill. I could go with guys like that. Those are big key contributors. Matt Barnes does not equal up to the status of Grant Hill at this point.
Oh, come on. Grant Hill did not do anything last year. The Clippers got rid of Reggie Evans. He was such a key player in the playoffs. He came through in the clutch. He's a vet player.
Okay, I'll get...
These facts is very, very... And the Patriots cheated. They beat the Eagles in 04. I just like to tell the public that.
Where did that come up with? Okay, can we just stick with our topic here? I thank you for the call, but I just disagree with your...
The Patriots cheated out the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl in 2004. I think the New England Patriots and the New Orleans Saints should be banned as NFL teams. They should be a college teams that are playing.
I think that's a little extreme. Thank you for the call. Thank you very much. Sorry I had to hang up, but guys, give me a good call, please. I want a better call than that. I respect the opinion. I respect, the way, but if you're going to talk about the NBA, don't just flip onto a New England Patriots cheating scandal and how they should get out of the league. That's a little extreme. I mean, I'm pretty... I let you go. I let you unleashed. Now, give me a chance here. You gotta respect what I'm trying to do here. You just talk about one topic here, and that's the way it rolls. We have Robert who's on the phone. Oh, let me first read his text. Robert says, do you think the AFL is a good place for retired NFL players to play? Depending on what it is. We got another call from Ari. You know what? We're gonna have to go through text messages here because I can't just have guys just keep on rambling on. I really appreciate Robert coming on the show. I really appreciate Ari coming on the show. But okay, well, you know what? We'll get Robert's call in here. All right, Robert. I saw your question with the AFL, and I think it depends with what the situation is. If you're a TO, we got a call waiting, but if you have a guy like TO who can be a big contributor and who's in that type of stage of career, I think it's good. But when you have guys who are too old, I think that's a problem to stick them into the NFL. I mean, into the AFL, rather.
Do you think undrafted agents should go in that league too if they couldn't really find a job in the NFL?
Oh, undrafted free agents? Yeah, definitely. I think they should go. The AFL is a good spot. I mean, let's look at it from a national perspective. It's the second most exposed league in America when it comes to football per se. We look at this and they've got Friday nights on NFL Network. That's pretty big. That's on cable TV, big spotlight for scouts and teams to look at. So yes, I think that's a really good question. I really appreciate that.
Cameron, have you been to an AFL game?
No, but I think I've seen it on TV though.
What do you think of it on TV? Do you think that they should change the rules, or do you like it the way it is?
I think